Hello, my friends, and welcome back to English Snap Lab. I am so happy you are here today. In this episode, we are going to learn English through a story that touches the heart. We are going to explore the beautiful movie Soul. This story is emotional, thoughtful, and full of simple but powerful ideas about our existence. Do not worry, I will tell it in clear, slow, and easy English so you can relax, listen, and truly enjoy the process of learning. This movie is about dreams. It's about music. It's about finding your purpose. But more than that, it is about the tiny, beautiful moments in life that many of us forget to notice because we are too busy. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's begin our journey. Joe Gardner is a middle-aged man living in the busy, loud, and exciting New York City. By day, he is a music teacher in a middle school. He spends his hours trying to teach children how to play instruments. Joe loves music more than anything else in the world. For him, music is not just a hobby, it is his passion. A passion is something you love so deeply that it defines who you are. But in his heart, Joe feels unfulfilled. He loves jazz. To Joe, jazz is the thing that makes him feel truly alive. When he sits at the piano, the world disappears. He feels free. He feels happy. He feels like he is exactly where he is meant to be in the universe. Joe has a big dream. He wants to be a professional jazz musician. He doesn't want to spend his whole life in a classroom. He wants to play on a real stage, under bright lights, with the greatest musicians in the city. He wants his life to feel meaningful. One day, Joe's principal offers him a full-time, permanent teaching job. This is a stable job. Stable means secure, steady, and safe. For many people, this would be a dream come true. His mother is very happy because she wants Joe to have a steady paycheck and a safe future. But Joe is not excited. Inside, he feels trapped. He doesn't want safety. He wants his big break. Suddenly, the phone rings. It's a former student named Curly. He tells Joe that Dorothea Williams, a famous jazz legend, needs a piano player for her show tonight. Joe cannot believe his ears. He rushes to the jazz club for an audition. An audition is like a job interview, but for a performer. At first, Joe is shaking with nerves, but as soon as his fingers touch the piano keys, everything changes. He stops worrying. He stops thinking about the rent or his mother's advice. He lets the music lead him. Joe plays from his soul. Dorothea is impressed. She tells him, "See you tonight for the show." Joe is overjoyed. He is on cloud 9. He is so happy that he runs out into the street, shouting and celebrating. He feels like his real life is finally starting. But then, in a split second, tragedy strikes. Joe is so busy looking at the sky that he doesn't see an open manhole. He falls deep into the ground. Suddenly, the noise of New York disappears. Joe is no longer in his body. He is a small, glowing soul on a long, moving walkway in space, heading toward a giant, bright light called the Great Beyond. Joe is terrified. "I can't die today," he screams. "I have a show at 7 p.m. He refuses to accept his fate. He runs away from the light and falls off the walkway, landing in a strange, colorful place called the Great Before. This is a beautiful, peaceful world where new souls live before they are born on Earth. Here, they develop their personalities. Joe meets beings called the Jerrys, who look like line drawings. They explain that every soul needs a spark to get a pass to Earth. Joe assumes a spark must be a life's purpose, like being a doctor, a painter, or in his case, a musician. By mistake, the Jerrys think Joe is a great mentor. A mentor is a wise person who guides someone else. They ask Joe to help a soul named 22. Now, 22 is a very difficult student. She has been in the great before for thousands of years. She is sarcastic, meaning she mocks things with her words, and she is incredibly stubborn. She refuses to change her mind. She hates the idea of Earth. She thinks living is a waste of time. Joe tries everything to convince her. He shows her the most amazing human achievements, but 22 just yawns. Eventually, through a chaotic accident, Joe and 22 fall through a portal and land back in New York City. But there is a huge mistake. Joe's soul enters the body of a therapy cat, and 22's soul enters Joe's human body. Joe is in panic. He is a cat, and a soul who hates life is now walking around in his body. 22 is overwhelmed by the noise and the smells of the city. But then she tries a slice of New York pizza. Her eyes go wide. "This is delicious," she shouts. As they walk through the city, 22 begins to notice things Joe never did. She feels the wind blowing through the trees. She watches a maple leaf spin as it falls from the sky. She listens to a street musician and feels tears in her eyes. These are ordinary things, but to 22, they are magical. Joe, as a cat, is only focused on the clock. "Hurry up," he meows. "We need to get to the club." He is still chasing the big dream, while 22 is enjoying the small moments. Through 22, Joe sees his life differently. They visit Joe's barber, Des. Usually, Joe only talks about jazz at the barbershop, but 22 asks Des about his life. She learns that Des wanted to be a veterinarian, but he couldn't afford the school. Even so, Des is happy. He loves his job because he meets interesting people and makes them feel good. Joe realizes that a life can be meaningful even if you don't achieve your first dream. Finally, they find a way to switch back. Joe gets his body back and makes it to the club. He plays the show. It is perfect. The crowd cheers. Dorothea is happy. This is the moment he waited for his whole life. But when the show ends and Joe walks out onto the sidewalk, he feels empty. He asks Dorothea, "What happens now?" She tells him a story about a fish. The fish asks an older fish, "I'm looking for the ocean." The old fish says, "You're in it." The young fish says, "No, this is just water." Joe goes home and sits at his piano. He looks at the items 22 collected during her day in his body: a candy wrapper, a leaf, a piece of pizza crust. Suddenly, it clicks. Joe understands. His spark wasn't jazz. Jazz was just the way he expressed his love for being alive. The spark is the desire to live, to taste, to feel, to listen, and to be present. Joe returns to the spiritual world to find 22. She has become a lost soul, covered in dark shadows because she thinks she isn't good enough. Joe finds her and shows her the maple leaf. He tells her, "Your spark isn't a career. It's just that you are ready to live." He gives her her pass to Earth. It is an act of pure selflessness. Joe is ready to go to the great beyond, but the Jerrys have watched him. They are inspired by his change of heart. They give him a second chance. Joe wakes up back in his body on Earth. He walks outside, takes a deep breath of the city air, and looks at the sky. He doesn't know exactly what he will do today, but he knows one thing: he is going to live every minute of it. The story of Joe and 22 reminds us that life isn't just about the big goal, it is about the journey. Thank you for practicing your English with us today at English Snap Lab. Did this story help you notice the small moments in your own life? If you enjoyed this listening practice, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. Tell us in the comments, what is one small thing that made you smile today? I can't wait to read your answers. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep your soul open. Bye for now.